Good morning, everyone. Today what we are going to be doing is we're going to be learning about addition algorithms with regrouping. So I'm going to go through 4-digit, 5-digit and decimal. So let's get started. So the first step we need to take is we need to place the numbers one on top of the other, lining up the tens and the ones. Step 2 is we need to add the ones and carry any tens to the tens column. The next thing we need to do is we need to add the tens and then any tens that we've carried and then write our answer below. Step 4 is we need to add our hundreds together and then anything that we've carried over and write our answer below. Then we need to add the thousands together and then anything that we've carried over into the next column. Then we need to check our answer. Here's an example. So the first thing we need to do is we need to make sure that everything is all lined up. So our tens and ones are all lined up, our hundreds and our thousands. Right, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add my ones together. So I can see I've got 8 ones and 4 ones. So I need to add them together. Now it's going to equal to 12. So I'm going to put my 2 ones here and move my 10 over into this column. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add my tens together. So I've got 7 tens and 5 tens, which makes 12, plus my other 10, which makes 13. So what I need to do now is I need to put my 3 tens here and then move my 100 over into the next column. So my 100 into the next column. Then what I need to do is I need to add my hundreds together. So I've got 3 hundreds and 5 hundreds and my extra 100 here. So that makes 9 hundreds. So I don't have to move anything into the next column now. So I don't have to do any regrouping. Then I need to add my thousands together. So 4,000 plus 5,000 is 9,000. So if I check my answer, I've got 9,932. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to do a 5-digit addition algorithm with regrouping. So like I said, we need to line up our 2 numbers together. Then step 2, we need to add the ones and write the answer under the ones. Then I need to add the tens, including any tens that I've carried, and write them into the tens column. Then I need to add the hundreds, including any hundreds I've carried, and write the answer in the hundreds column. Step 5 is I need to add the thousands, including anything that I've carried, and then write the answer in the thousands column. Then I need to add the 10,000s and anything that I've carried and then write the answer below. Then I just check my answer. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you an example. So like I've said before a couple of times, I've lined up my 2 numbers together. So I've got my ones together, I've got my tens together, my hundreds are together, my thousands and my 10,000s. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add them together. So I've got 9 ones and 4 ones. So I'm going to add those 2 together and then carry my tens into the tens column. So 9 plus 4 is 13. I'm going to carry the 110 into the tens column. Now I'm going to add 6 tens and 5 tens together, but I've got 110 here. So now I've got 12 tens. So I'm going to put the 2 here and I'm going to carry the 1 into the hundreds column. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add my hundreds together. So I've got 4 hundreds and 9 hundreds. And I've got 1 that I've carried over. So my answer is going to be 14. I'm going to leave my 4 in the hundreds column and I'm going to carry my 1 into the thousands column now. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add my thousands. So I've got 2,000s and 9,000s and the one that I've carried from the previous column, which makes 12,000. So I'm going to leave my 2,000s here and carry my 10,000 into the next column. So 2 plus 2 10,000s and 7 10,000, and then my 10,000 as well. So I'm going to add all of those together, which makes 10 10,000s. Now I'm going to check my answer. So I've got 102,423. And lastly, I'm going to show you how to do a decimal addition algorithm with regrouping. So I've lined up my numbers just like I've done in the previous ones. The next step is I need to add the hundredths together and then carry any hundredths to the tenths column. Then I need to add the tenths together and any hundredths that I've carried and then write my answer below. I also need to make sure I put the decimal point in this time too. Step 4 is I need to add the ones together and then anything I've carried and then write my answer below. Then I need to add my tens together and anything I've carried and then write my answer below. Then I need to check my answer. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you an example. So I've lined up my numbers together. So I've got my hundredths together, I've got my tens together, my ones and my tens. So I'm going to start with the hundredths first. So I'm going to add 9 hundredths and 4 hundredths together, which makes 13 hundredths. So I'm going to put the 3 there and carry the 100th into the tenths column. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add my tenths together. So I'm going to add my 3 tenths and 8 tenths together and then anything I've carried, and I'm going to write my answer below. So that's going to be 12 tenths. So I'm going to have to move my 1 into the ones column and remember to put my decimal place in. Then I'm going to add my ones together. So I've got 2 ones and 9 ones and anything I've carried, and that's going to make 12 ones. So I'm going to leave my 2 in the ones column and move my 110 into the tens column. Then I'm going to add my tens together and anything that I've carried. So 6 tens and 5 tens and 110 is 12 tens. And now I'm going to check my answer. So I've got 122 and 23 hundredths. I hope you've all enjoyed watching this video. So what you need to do now is you need to go onto Google Classroom and you need to complete today's algorithm activity. There are 3 levels. So the first one are must-do questions. The second level is can-do. So if you feel like you want a little bit of a challenge, you can. If you really want a challenge, you can do the optional questions and also make your own question. I hope you've all enjoyed this video. Thanks. Bye.